This is my Criterion D showcase of my computational solution for an assisting software for the Paradox Interactive game Europa Universalis 4. So I have my success criteria here to showcase them, but I would first like to show exactly what I meant in Criterion A for the problem at hand. So the base game stores the map information this way. Here we can see the image, and each one of the different provinces is a different color, and the information about which province is which is stored in a definition called CSV file. Here we can see the ID, the RGB values, and then the name of the actual province. So immediately when we load the software, we have the entire solution right here. We can replace the bitmap and the definitions file as well if we want. I'm not going to change the definition file right now, but for example, here we are. The software can run can process the entire world map relatively fast, or at least faster than the actual game takes to load, which is a pretty good standard for the client. But for this example, we'll be using this cropped version of the map. Immediately, we can click the file and it starts processing. This single press of a button already checks off some of our success criteria. Specifically the breaking and loading down, the making the adjacencies CSV, and all specified map and all adjacent provinces to each other. So these two are immediately checked off. This is just basically for myself. Immediately after, then we can move on to the secondary thing. Here we have, well, just a way we can view the entire map in case we want to do the entire world map. And immediately we can load in a save file. The way the save file loading in works is specifically, the game automatically stores save files in a compressed .eu4 file, but if we unzip the actual file, and I'm just going to give you a demo here, we can we get a game state text file, and then we can load this in, and then immediately it is visually shown here. This checks off another one, specifically the load in same file from game and load provinces with it, using random signs. This is, Immediately, then we have the option as well to add any specific forts we want. As an example, all of the provinces are listed here and their respective IDs. So you can immediately, let's say, add in Belgrade as a fort. 4239, and then we can add the fort. It is visualized here, the provinces that were quote-unquote knocked out because of the fort, and then it can calculate the ideal fort layout. For this specific country, Hungary, it is relatively fast because there's not many provinces. The program takes a lot more time for a lot bigger provinces. A lot bigger countries, but that's fine because at a certain point, if you really are such a big country, if you're over, let's say, 1,000 provinces or even 500 provinces, you basically have gotten to the point where you can snowball through the rest of the game and you don't really have to worry about fort networks. We can also reset the entire thing and run it for just on its own. We can see the layout is a bit different. And as another example, we can, let's say, add this other save file of England. Here we can already see the difference in timing it takes. This is going to take a lot longer, but that's pretty much fine. It's still faster than the actual game itself, the load up time. So in an ideal world, somebody can launch the game, launch this as well, load in their save file, calculate everything, and then by the time they finish, the game is going to load. So it can calculate the ideal fort layout, the cost and construction, and clearly it is visualized in, I would say, a pretty neat way. and it is able to keep specific provinces with castles and recalculate the ideal setup. That checks off all of the success criteria. This is still loading, and it's still going to load for like 10-20 seconds more or less. But yeah, it functions really well. And what I didn't show with the Hungary save is how it writes here which provinces should have forts, the actual upkeep cost, and everything else. But once this loads, then I can show that. Yeah, here it is. So we have the fort network. Once again, if you want to, if the person checking this wants to, they can pause and see, and check if all of the provinces are adjacent to at least one fort. I'd like to point out that this province is adjacent to this one through this very small gap, though, so don't be surprised. And here at the bottom, we can see specifically which ones need forts for this setup, the upkeep price for a base level 2 fort, and raw build price specifically. And that's pretty much it.